Joining me now is Lydia Miljan, political analyst at the University of Windsor. Lydia, thank you for being here. This is intriguing, I think, the way that this is played out. So the third MP to cross the floor from the Conservatives to the Liberals. But Lydia, do you remember a time where an MP said, I'm going to resign, I'm stepping away from politics, but oh no, in the new year, let me change my mind and I'm going to cross the floor?
Yeah, I mean, it happened last year when we had all those liberals saying that they were going to resign just before they thought they're going to be trounced in the federal election. Anita Anand, for example, famously said she was going back to being a professor of law. So this isn't unusual. It certainly does tell us something about the political winds and how they've changed in just one short year. But yeah, here we go again, having someone say they're going, spend more time with family. Apparently they want to spend less time with family.
Yeah, because again, you're going to stay in office. You're not going to be and put to use now in the government, and you're not going to be spending any more time with family, doesn't feel like right now. Just overall, give me the big picture for the Liberals, too. There's a few seats empty. We've been talking about that over the course of the day today, right? Christopher Freeland has resigned. David Lametti has resigned. Bill Blair's seat still needs to be filled as well. So they're not any closer to a majority, but it still is significant that here we are in February again talking about another floor crossing.
Yeah, well, I think it does matter because they also lost the Terrebonne seat due to a judicial order. So, you know, they're going to have 4 by-elections, 3 to 4 by-elections, depending on how we figure out the math there. And so with them being at 169 now, that does put them over the top. If they get a sweep and win all 4 of those by-elections, they get their majority government. And then that allows them to continue their mandate for as long as they want. And I think this is sort of might be what Mark Carney wants. I don't think he wants to roll the dice on a general, but this is a very effective way of getting that majority. It's going to be a slim one, but it still gives a majority, and then it puts the pressure on the Conservatives to figure out what they're going to do for the next few years. Are they going to dump their leader? Are they going to restart? Or are they going to stick with Pierre Poilievre?
Right, and let's talk about Pierre Poilievre too, who, you know, was critical to calling this a betrayal too of Matt Jeneroux and to his constituents in Edmonton Riverbend. But also he's dealing with the Jamal Javani too issue and the situation that's happening with Javani heading south of the border. He had to defend that. And even yesterday in the House of Commons said overall that he believes his team is strong, and there are clearly indications that that is not the case today.
Yeah, he's obviously got a caucus problem. He can't control members within the caucus who are, you know, I guess in good faith trying to help out, but obviously are speaking for the party or speaking, you know, for the government in some respects by going to the states. That's not a good look on his caucus management. Losing Matt Jeneroux is also problematic, given that we've already had a couple other floor crossings as well. So I think that, you know, he does risk having a caucus revolt. This does feel very much like when we saw Andrew Scheer be ousted. You know, it's just the little things. Once you lose your caucus, you lose it all. And so the party's got to think, you know, given these difficulties, can we really move forward?
You know, he just went through a leadership review too and got, you know, pretty overwhelming support from delegates who were there. Does this change that now though too with another MP leaving caucus?
I think it does. I think just in the context of this week that he's sort of trying to put out all these fires within the caucus. Yes, the delegates gave him an overwhelming endorsement, but that wasn't all rank and file members. And obviously there's concerns. You know, even Matt Jeneroux saying that, you know, he was inspired by the Davos speech doesn't help Mr. Poilievre, because Mr. Poilievre is now having to always play catch up. That was always the case with Mark Carney. He was always going to see more prime ministerial, more serious player. And so this just keeps on chipping away at Poilievre's support.
Lydia Miljan, political analyst at the University of Windsor. Always appreciate your insight, Lydia. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.